Sundance Film Festival has been running in Utah since 1978 and it's something of the holy grail film festival for indie filmmakers. Get shown there and there's a good chance you'll be picked up for US distribution and greater glory. Ed Gibbs was at Sundance this year. He took a look at some of the Australian films that are showing and also at one which is not Australian but which features many of our finest performers.
We're here at the 2015 Sundance Film Festival, where Australian films are generating plenty of heat.
Kim Farrant's Strangerland sees Nicole Kidman giving one of her most guttural performances as a mixed-up mother riddled with guilt in a very mixed-up town.
I panicked and I went to the police and...
Working with actors such as Nicole Kidman and Hugo Weaving and Joseph Fiennes on my first feature was, hugely rewarding, confronting.
And where did she go then? She stayed at a friend's house. Have you called the friend?
Yeah, I have.
The story for me was inspired by my own experiences of loss and noticing in myself how I dealt with loss and the kind of experienced my father's death at an early age and I was like 22 and found myself in the grief wanting to connect.
Sundance alumni Matt Bate, who was here just 3 years ago with Shut Up Little Man, has found the world's first social networker in the bizarre and very colourful Sam KLEMKE'S time machine.
Hello, I'm Sam KLEMKE and I'm speaking to you in 1977.
It's about a guy who's recorded his entire life, sort of over 50 years, it's kind of like boyhood, sort of like a punk rock boyhood. I've used a kind of framing device of this story of the Voyager Golden Record, which was this record that NASA created, which was a portrait they sent to extraterrestrials to kind of explain to ET who we are as human beings.
1981.
It's got Bach and Beethoven and great music on it, and it's a very sanitized portrait. So Voyager in the film is seen as a kind of like the A side, the sort of the high art side of humanity, and Sam is kind of like the B side, the reality of our situation, the bit that we didn't tell the aliens what really goes on in our lives.
I'm almost 30, so I'm going to try doing stuff myself this year. But I say that every year, don't I?
Hi, I'm sentiment. Hi.
Toni Collette has turned heads this year with a stunning performance playing a boozy, troubled mum in Gerard Barrett's brooding Glassland, which co-stars Sundance Award winner Will Poulter.
I think it's just a beautiful, intimate portrayal of a family going through a really rough time. It just kind of scared me a little bit, and I like that. That's kind of what initially engaged me. It was incredibly well written. Gerard Barrett wrote it and directed it. He's the real deal.
How's it feel to be back at Sundance? You are somewhat of a Sundance veteran, of course.
Yeah, this is the 5th film I've had premiere here. It's such a lovely festival. It's very, it's somewhat small, but there's so much happening, and it's a filmmaker's delight because there's such reverence for film here and such support for independent film, and that's a great thing.
This year's Sundance has been all about stars taking risks, making big decisions. And here in Park City, audiences have loved it all, even when they've had to line up outside in the freezing cold.